If I handed you tomorrow's newspaper right now, what would you do with it? Would you buy a lottery ticket? Would you try to avoid a disaster? Or would you try to change the future? To us humans, time is a one-way street. We can only remember the past. We are blind to the future. Anyone who tries to predict history usually ends up being mocked by it. But on our bookshelves, there is a book that claims to stand outside of time, looking down at the entire timeline of human history. In Isaiah 46:10, it says, "I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times, what is still to come." This isn't arrogance. Statisticians tell us that accurately predicting the specific fate of a city or an empire centuries in advance is statistically impossible. Yet, this ancient book did it, not once, but thousands of times. Today, let's peel back the dust of history and look at these mysteries that were written in advance. Because if you're not careful, you might realize that you are living in the middle of one of its pages right now. Mystery 1, the scraped rock. Let's turn the clock back to the 6th century BC. The city of Tyre was the heart of the Mediterranean, wealthy, powerful, and seemingly invincible. But the biblical prophet Ezekiel wrote a bizarre verdict against it. He didn't just say Tyre would be destroyed, he was weirdly specific. He said, "They will break down your walls. I will scrape away her dust and make her a bare rock. And then, she shall be a place for spreading nets in the midst of the sea." Think about it. When armies conquer, they burn or loot. Who wastes time throwing stones and dust into the ocean? Who scrapes a city down to the bedrock? For centuries, it seemed the prophecy had failed. The Babylonians conquered the city, but the ruins remained. Then, 250 years later, Alexander the Great arrived. The people of Tyre retreated to an island fortress, thinking they were safe. To reach them, Alexander did the unthinkable. He ordered his soldiers to take every stone, every timber, and every shovel of dust from the old city ruins and throw them into the sea to build a causeway to the island. Historians record that the old city was scraped so clean, it became like a bare rock. Today, if you visit the site, you will see local fishermen spreading their nets on those exact bare rocks to dry, just as it was written 2,500 years ago. Mystery 2, the gate that must remain shut now. Look at Jerusalem. On the eastern wall of the old city stands the Golden Gate. If you go there today, you'll see something strange. It is completely sealed with stone. Why? This is a chess game that spans a millennium. Around 600 BC, Ezekiel prophesied, "This gate shall be shut, it shall not be opened, and no one shall enter by it. For the Lord God of Israel has entered by it." The Bible predicted it would remain shut until the end times. In 1541 AD, Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent read this Jewish prophecy. To spite the Bible and prove he could stop the Messiah from entering, he ordered the gate to be sealed shut with thick stones. He thought he was defeating the prophecy. But he didn't realize that by sealing the gate, he was fulfilling the very specific words, "This gate shall be shut." For 500 years, conquerors have come and gone. Other gates are open, but this one remains a silent sentinel, sealed tight, waiting. Mystery 3. A nation born in a day. If predicting a city's fate is hard, what about predicting the resurrection of a dead nation? In human history, no nation has ever been destroyed, scattered across the globe for 2,000 years, lost its language, and then returned to its original land to be reborn. It defies all sociological laws. Yet 700 years before Christ, Isaiah asked a ridiculous question. Can a country be born in a day? Can a nation be brought forth in a moment? The prophecy implied that Israel would reappear suddenly in a single day. Fast forward to the 14th of May, 1948. At 4 p.m., David Ben-Gurion slammed a wooden gavel in a museum in Tel Aviv and read the Declaration of Independence. In that singular moment, the name Israel, which had disappeared from political maps for 20 centuries, was reborn in a single day. Just as the valley of dry bones in Ezekiel 37 grew flesh and breath, a nation rose from the ashes of history. Mystery 4. The funeral the world watched. If the previous prophecies were historical miracles, this next one is a technological impossibility. In the book of Revelation, written around 95 AD, the Apostle John describes two witnesses who are killed in Jerusalem. The text says, "For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies." Stop and think. In the first century, news traveled at the speed of a horse. How could people from every nation simultaneously see a dead body in Jerusalem? It was logically impossible. Skeptics mocked this verse for centuries, until the mid-20th century when satellites were launched, until the 21st century when smartphones appeared in our pockets. Today, we don't just understand it, we live it. We can look down at a black glass screen and watch a live stream from the other side of the planet. John wasn't writing a myth. He was describing technology that hadn't been invented yet. Mystery 5, the cashless mark. Speaking of technology, we must face the most famous and unsettling prediction. Revelation 13 warns of a final economic system where no one can buy or sell unless they have the mark. For 1,900 years, stopping people from buying and selling was nearly impossible. Even without coins, people could barter. But today, we are sprinting toward a cashless society. Your salary is a number. Your spending is a QR code. If your digital account is frozen, cash becomes useless paper. You cannot buy a bottle of water. The technology for a global digital identification system, biometrics, chips, digital currency, is now a reality. The Bible isn't anti-technology, but it warned us long ago. A day is coming when the right to buy bread will depend not on your money, but on your allegiance. Mystery 6, the explosion of knowledge. Finally, a mystery about the nature of our time. The prophet Daniel was told to seal up his book until the time of the end. He was given a specific sign. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. For thousands of years, transportation meant horses. Your great-grandfather's travel speed wasn't much different from Abraham's, but in the last 100 years, everything changed. We went from horses to rockets. Our total human knowledge now doubles every 12 hours. If you drew a graph of human technological progress, it would be a flat line for millennia. And then right in our era, it turns into a vertical wall. Daniel accurately described the exact generation we are living in. Conclusion. When you piece together the scraped rocks of Tyre, the sealed Golden Gate, the rebirth of a nation, global live streams, and the digital economy, you realize this is not a coincidence. It is as if someone had the script of human history thousands of years ago. Just as the Bible understood the universe before science did, it outlined history before it happened. Why am I telling you this? Not to scare you, but to show you that this world is not a runaway train. It is running on tracks. God said, "I make known the end from the beginning." If this book has been 100% accurate about the past, shouldn't we pay attention to what it says about the future? About hope, about judgment, and about eternity? History has been written in advance. The only question is, in the final chapter of that history, where will your name be written?